Good morning and welcome back to another video, and today we will be going over the 5 best BFA gold farms right now. Now just stick around and enjoy the video. Okay, so to round up the X-Pack best gold farms, we're obviously going to be ending it with BFA, and then as soon as Shadowlands has come out, we'll be then adding that to the list. But aside from that, let's get into number 1, which is the GLOOP pet farm. Now this one is a fishing specific farm, and this is where you'll be going over to Oldham. What you're going to be wanting to do is go over there, and the thing that you're going to be wanting to do is by going over to all of the nodes within Oldham and fishing them up. You have a chance of getting a hold of this battle pet by fishing from those specific nodes for the malformed gnashes and the void fins. Now overall, what I would recommend is actually getting a hold of track fishing. So what you'll be wanting to do is get a hold of that, in all honesty. And when I actually got a hold of it, I was just doing standard classic fishing, just testing out which fish are best for sales. Bear in mind, fishing in Booty Bay is actually pretty good. Aside from all of that, let's actually carry on with the GLOOP Battle Pet. The GLOOP Battle Pet actually has a decent overall gold per hour for it, and you also get a load of different types of fish with fishing those pools, which you can turn into buff food at the end of Shadowlands, which means that you can sell those for a tasty amount, and yes, the pun intended. And then as well as that, you can have a chance of getting a hold of that battle pet also to boost up your gold for that hour's worth of farming. Now coming in at number 2, and at no surprise, is the Anchorweed farm, and this one is primarily in Voldoon. Now the Voldoon farm is by far a very good one in order to do, especially when it's paired with mining, but more specifically when you're doing it just from herbalism, you can still get a stupidly strong gold per hour for this if you are at least with rank 3 with all of those different types of herbs that you're going to be farming up, i.e. Okunda's Bite and Anchorweed being your main priority ones. The rest of them are all a bit subsidiary, so at the bare minimum, have them at rank 2, but if you can get rank 3, get rank 3 before you start farming. But what I would actually recommend for actually doing this farm is following the route on the screen right now, and overall this actually will come in at some very decent gold per hour for this. And the best thing of note is its current content at this moment in time, so you can farm it up and you can pretty much guarantee it's going to sell for you before the beginning of Shadowlands. So that's always a bonus when you're going about doing these types of farms for current content. Other than that, let's move on to number 3, which is the OSMENITE and ZIN'ANTHID multi-farm. Now this one is currently located within Nazjatar, and what you're going to be wanting to do is have flying. Yes, you're definitely going to have flying. Most of you already do have it now, and other than that, if you don't have it, I would focus on getting your flying, because this farm is pretty much dead awesome overall. By the way, if it's becoming the end of Shadowlands, don't worry about this farm, just move on to something else, because flying is going to become available to people. So depends on what your perspective is on that and how far you're away from getting that flying. Like if you're just a little bit, get flying and then do the farm. Aside from that, this is definitely well worth it if you do have flying. Make sure that you have rank 3 in OSMENITE ore and also ZIN'ANTHID. This will increase your gold per hour, of course, and also if you're following the route on the screen, you're going to get a wide variety of multitudes of these different 2 materials, and overall you're going to make a decent amount of gold. The one thing I would recommend, however, it's still profitable to actually prospect the OSMENITE ore into its former gems, and then that means you can pretty much make some additional gold with that. Milling the ZIN'ANTHID into maroon ink is still quite a viable option, but I would double check that one on WorthIt just to be on the safe side for yourselves. That is currently under flipping, and other than that, that is pretty much all I have to say for this farm. So let's move into number 4, which is the Goldenmane farm. Yes, and yes, I wanted to put an RNG based, really high RNG based farm in this actual list, and that is because the Goldenmane mount will be around for years to come, and quite frankly, it is a great farming location at this present time. At the moment, it's looking like that mounts will probably shoot up because everyone will be doing the next current content, so it's better to farm it up now when there's people just let left idle doing random farms, and easier to get a hold of this mount now, and then you can hold on to it for Shadowlands when the supply depletes. Now, there are multiple other people that are stockpiling this different type of mount, so you could always sell this for a quick buck now, but overall, farming this location will be in the Stormsong Valley and located on the screen right now. What you'll be wanting to do is get into a 2x4 group, where you get into a group of 2 parties of 4, and then you'll be farming the area. You can always do this in a 5-man group, but it is much better to do it in a 2x4, so just FYI, it's better to do it that way. Other than that, this is a great farming location for it because there is a lot of mobs that spawn over and over again. If you are able to kill them fast enough, at this moment in time, at the end of the X pack, you should all be adequately geared enough to actually do this type of farm. So, other than that, it's not reliant on a gold profession, it's more RNG based, and it does take a few hours in order to get a hold of this mount, but the goal for this mount actually reflects the amount of effort and time you have to put into it in relation to actually material farming, so to speak. So if you wanted to test your luck, this is a good farm to actually go ahead and do. Other than that, let's just jump into Dredged Leather. Now, Dredged Leather is a staple farm at number 5, and that means that it's going to be used to make the last of the crafted gear. It's used for a lot of other different types of things, and overall it's a material in which it sells really well at this moment in time. The thing for this farm is it's actually based in Nazjatar and not in the specific locations not in the respective locations of the Vale of Eternal Blossoms with the wolves and the Aldham one with the hyenas as well. These ones are off the table, so to speak, unless you want to actually do those ones. You're more than welcome to, but the Nazjatar one actually also gives you meat, and this is Rubbery Flank. Rubbery Flank is used to actually make a load of different types of cooking meals and feasts, and that actually boosts the gold per hour quite considerably. Make sure that you're at rank 3 with Dredged Leather and go about the area completely massacring everything. Now, you should be adequately geared enough to take on multiple of these mobs, but I tend to use this with a Demon Hunter for the extra maneuverability and just insane health regeneration, so I can just keep going and going and going. Aside from all of that, when you're actually farming up this area, you have 2 different types of materials, which is the Dredged Leather and Rubbery Flank, and they'll be your main sources of gold. You can always get different types of other items that come along with this, but overall they're not really worth that much of a great deal. What you're mainly going for are those 2 materials that will sell relatively fast. Other than that, guys, that's pretty much all I have to say for the 5 best BFA gold farms. Have an awesome rest of the day, and I shall see you in the next video, which will be tomorrow. If you want to support the channel and help make the channel even better, then why not check out the Patreon? Members get additional info, gold making resources, and Patreon specific content. The link is located in the description down below. Thank you and have an awesome day.